get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Who am I but I'm Dre Mac? Came into the game just to spit facts. Into the space that I'm in. They got me by the Drake cause I'm cold with the pen. I find no diamonds but I still shine. You can dig me cause my bar's mine. My tracks flame like a Damu. The hardest blood on my tongue. Thinking this is warm blue. I'ma throw with a gas leak. Camouflage in the mist, but you smell me. One spark, then I bet you I'ma blow up. Just throw my name around, get stupid, then you go dumb. No rest for the weary. A versus thinking in his man, but you can't see me. You rather drink, they gon' pull up. I'm drinking knife through the game, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. I came to eat at the a la carte. Got stripped of a bear, come me brainstorm. Then I come together like a Voltron. Then I poured all the planks, you use the second kind. Straight rappers to retreat like Cobra. 80s they can throw they like. Up in the storage and I'm E-man. Up, down, then I'm cheap. You a beast, man. I take a beating. Ninja Turtle rap, total clans get defeated. Hop in my ride, you can call me Night Rider. You can never stop me, cause I'm a guy ball. Bad attitude like a rocket, my whole to the A, and I bet you can't stop us. LL bad, when I go and show up, you can hear the haters in the back. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie.
What's up? What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Dre Mac, coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show, 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. And if you're on the West Coast right now, get up, because you already know that the early bird gets the worm. And today, gotta feel like I'm all the way in front of the camera. I got to get that big forehead up in here somewhere. But today, we are going to discuss the reviews right now on Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts, I'm going to go see Thunderbolts on tomorrow. So I will give you a non-spoiler review after kind of like a, fresh out the theater review or whatever, just to kind of let you know kind of what my thoughts are with the Thunderbolts. Like I said, just going to go see an early premiere of that. So like I said, it's at 2:00 on tomorrow. So I will let you guys know exactly kind of where I'm at with the movie, how the movie is. It is getting really good reviews. And for what I understand, it has that, original Guardians of the Galaxy element to it. So we're going to go over that right now. And I'm also going to do a reaction video to the homie She Dressed Me. You know what I mean? Speaking of, I need to do something with this head here in a minute. I mean, I'm gonna let it grow. I'm gonna let it do something before it do something, but it's gonna need to be retwisted here in a minute. Anyway, hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gant over at the Heavy Gant Reacts channel. But you already know how I do. The real question is, All right. Let me see who is all in the house this morning. All right, Marley's up in here. Good morning. Robin D is up here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. The admin, Andre Ware is up here. What's up? What's good? What's good? Roberta, the church auntie, is up here. None of that cussing spirit, y'all. She's up here. Carol Black, what up with it, homie? What's good? What's good? What's good? Good morning. Junior Network, good morning, good morning, good morning. Tracy Woods is up here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Now, I told y'all a long time ago. I told you. And I'm going to rub this in. I'm going to say it. I said it wouldn't surprise me if Thunderbolts, where is this? If Thunderbolts wasn't better, you know what I mean, than Captain America Brave New World. I looked at Thunderbolts was an original, kind of not an original story, but you got all these cast of characters putting them together, And once I seen Marvel do the episode of What If with Red Guardian and Bucky, I already knew. What they were trying to do. You know what I mean? And I told y'all, I believe Thunderbolts is going to be the better of the Marvel movies. Not saying that Fantastic Four won't be good. I don't know. We're going to have to see if Fantastic Four is going to be good or not. But I said, man, that's going to be the sleeper of the MCU. It's probably going to be, I this is what I believe. I believe that Sinners is the best all-around film that's out right now. It's as of 2025, as of April right now, April the 30th, going into May. At this time, I believe that Sinners is the best all-around film, right? The best all-around film that I've watched. I would say Jonathan Majors' Magazine Dreams is the best performance that I've seen. And honestly, I don't know if y'all seen the Rock's trailer for the movie he has coming out. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it off tops, but I didn't even know that was a Rock. That man was looking like young Batista with that wig on, and it wasn't a Tyler Perry wig either. You know what I mean? So, until I see that, right now, Jonathan has the best performance, all around performance. But I'm not gonna lie, what the Rock is doing with this new movie, Smash the Machine, yeah. What he's doing with this new film, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of really want to watch it like badly. From 824, putting that type of performance on, having The Rock do that type of performance with Emily Blunt, who he worked with on the Disney Cruise movie or whatever. I didn't care about that. So what's up, Citizen K01? So, there's going to be best cinematography. There's going to be all of this. But so far, the worst of the movies I've seen has been Brave New World. It's the laziest of the movies I've seen. Lazy. It's a lazy movie. And I said Thunderbolts is not it's not giving you everything in that trailer for the first time. And I hope it's not. I really hope that I'm not getting spoiled when I go watch this movie because the ending is in the trailer. Be Positive 99. What's up? So I'm hoping I'm not getting spoiled, which I already know Taskmaster is going to die, and we needed a new Taskmaster anyway. So, yeah, by far right now, Jonathan Major has the best performance on screen. I wasn't expecting that. I went in with this movie with a certain expectation or certain thought, and left totally like I was left in my feelings, like I didn't know what to think after watching this. So best performance right now to me, Jonathan Major, but the best all-around film from start to finish with everything he gave is Sinners, bar none. And I'm not just living hyperbolically or anything. Rashad Walker was good. I'm saying right now, Sinners has everything that you're going to be looking at as far as a movie. Entertainment, very great visual effects. You know what I mean? The cinematography is amazing. The cinematography is absolutely amazing. I mean, the feels you have a comedic side with a very, very deep story that goes along with that. You're dealing with, that Jim Crow era in the 1930s, but that's not the trope that he used. Dude, I'm just saying it's the best film of the year. You know what I mean? So Thunderbolts, it looks like right now is going to be the sleeper. Before I get into all of the sleepers and all of that, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Stop everything you're doing. Go and hit that like button. I know this is probably your first time watching and you probably enjoying everything. Stop fucking on the channel and go and hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos or one of my morning live streams. And for only $2.99 a month, you can be a part of the crew. And shout out to all my crew members that have been holding it down for Dre Mack and the crew since the beginning. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program, now in service. So, bye. And most definitely shout out to the crew. Shout out to the crew who make sure to keep this channel going, and all you guys who always get super chats and stuff like that just to see Goofy body roll or gang banging or macking me. You know what I'm saying? Watching the kid fall from a cliff into a river. He saves him though. But I'm just saying, does he really save him? But so shout out to everybody that's a part of the crew. I really appreciate y'all and everything you do. And shout out to all the subscribers. We're getting close to 5,000 subscribers. So shout out to all you guys and, all you guys to help push the channel. I appreciate it. All right. Let me, what is up, Rico? What's up? My brother's in the house. What's up? Let me pull up my good friend Tina, because Tina has a video that's out that's giving a full review. I hope there's not any spoilers in here, or I'm gonna elbow Tina upside her head because she got to see this early. Tina got to see this early. You know what I'm saying? She spoils this movie for me. I put this on everything I love. I'm coming off the top rope with an elbow. Not mine. I'm talking about full macho man. Hands in the air. Right up. All in it. Not playing with her. You better not ruin it. So yeah. So let's get to this. Let's get to this reaction video from my homie. It's my friend though. It's my dog. She dressed me, aka Tina is in the house. Let's go ahead and pull it up the full HD. And she better not ruin this movie. She won't ruin this. If she ruins this movie for me, I'm elbowing her in the chin. All up, yeah. NWO style. And shh. All right, let me stop playing. That's my girl. I would do that. All right. He said dealers really downplay everything in her reviews. I just want to see what she got to say. This is my reaction video to my homie Tina. What's she talking about? Let's go. I could have did anybody, but I'm doing my homie.
What up, y'all? Tina here. Let's
right.
get into my review for the Thunderbolts. Hey, make sure you subscribe to my page.
We don't want to
grow over here. All right, yo. So before we get into the review, I want to kind of set the stage for why I feel the way that I feel about the movie The Thunderbolts. So, oh yeah, this is going to be a spoiler review too. So if you haven't seen the movie yet,
see what I mean? At least she warned me. Tina, you don't do the spoiler review before the movie comes out. Tina, what are you doing? Tina, what are you doing? You never give the spoiler review before the movie drop. The movie drops Thursday. Drop it Thursday at 2:00. So then when people getting out the movie, then we can go back and watch the video and be like, you know what? She was right. Tina. Tina. And I'm going to tell you, because I had people like, what are you doing? Rashad Walker. I you know what I'm saying? Now I gotta pick somebody else. You know what I mean? Come on, Tina. I was so happy, so happy. You know what? You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna give New Rockstars this. I'm gonna give New Rockstars.
I'm sure I'll never regret.
You know, they did a non-spoiler. God, that hurts my heart because I want to be able to support. D Sizzle, we know. Nah, I ain't doing no grace. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna give New Rockstars. You know what I'm saying? I don't beef with, you know, and I did cut off one YouTuber, one major channel because of what they were doing was not right. And I'm glad that their channel has not popped up on my thing since. You know what I mean? I'd rather give heavy spoilers, you know what I'm saying, my time. I'll give New Rockstars, you know what I mean? E-Man, but I'll do real rejects. But Grace, I'm good. I'm good. But Tina disappointed because I was looking forward to her review. But she did a spoiler review early. Embargo. What's up, Xavier Phoenix? All right.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Boss, and this is a spoiler-free review of Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts. I had the benefit of seeing the movie early, and as I've done for the past few MCU movies, I am now sharing with you a no-spoiler review of the highs, the lows, whether this movie deserved to be marketed as absolute cinema, and at the very end, my final score and ranking that I'm sure I'll never regret. Be sure to check out...
See, the thing is, with me now is, you want to go, and I'm reviewing this for people who really... want to just go to the movies and have fun. We know what they're doing with Black Panther. We know what they're doing with a lot of black characters. I voice my opinion. If you want to see the movie, then I'll be the bridge so I can, because this is what I've been doing anyway. Reviewing the film, seeing if it's a good film. You know what I'm saying? That you can just sit and enjoy. You ain't got a job with the MCU. If you want to boycott the MCU, that's fine. You want to boycott the MCU because of Black Panther or Jonathan Majors. That's fine. I'm not telling anyone where to put their money at. I tried to do that, and I didn't like the energy that was coming from that. Because my thing is, people gonna do what they want to do anyway, right? You want to go see a film. Maybe your favorite character is in this film that's not T'Challa, and you know what I mean. And you really want to see it, but you're like, well, you know. But again, you know what you need to do when certain films comes out, if you want to see it or not. That's on you. These are for the people who are on the fence, who's like, you know what? I still rock with the MCU no matter what they're doing. What are they talking about over there? Are they getting better? And I will go and review the movie for you and say, hey, look, it ain't bad. In my opinion, is this. In my opinion, is that. Like what I did with Brave New World. Brave New World is not the worst film I've ever saw in my life. But it's not the greatest film either. There's elements, there's certain parts of like that. If you didn't see The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, yeah, I would recommend you to go see this because you might enjoy it, you know. But I'm not going to cape for no company just because the lead character is black in that film. If the film's not good, I don't care. You know what I mean? So my whole thing with Thunderbolts is I wanted to see it because I was curious to see what they were going to do with Bucky and Elena, you know what I'm saying, and Red Guardian and all these other people. You know, what are they going to do? Is Taskmaster finally going to be replaced? You know what I'm saying? Eventually, we're going to kill that character off so that character numbers comes back. Or if you're going to come back the right way. You know what I'm saying? Can we get the real Taskmaster in the multiverse? I don't know. You know, I'm just saying there could be other things that we could be able to do. And if you're on the fence, at least let me go watch it. Let me just review it. You make the decision if you want to go do it. I already know where I stand. A lot of this stuff I'm going to review, but I wanted to put that caveat out there because I had a lot of people that have been like, yo, I thought you were this. Oh, I thought we were doing this. I didn't tell nobody to do nothing. I ain't not gonna tell no grown folks, hey, boycott this. I did say boycott that video game because I don't want to support a Black Panther video game without the main character. It does not make sense. And Spawn didn't have to go through it. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and nobody else had to go through it. I'd be damned if I give it. And now, if you want to do it, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm not going to eat nobody's lunch. You know what I'm saying? For that. But there's a reason for that. There's a precedence for that. You know, with these movies, if you want to go and you want to take your girl out on a date, what if she want to see Thunderbolts and you go and you just met this girl, you can be like, boycotting Marvel. I ain't seeing you. You know what I mean? You might mess up your chances. So I'm just saying. All right, enough of this. Let's see what they're doing. Hey, what's up, Erica D? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Out nerdright.shop where we have this new Thunderbolts asterisk design. Grabbing one of these shirts is one of the best ways you can support new rock stars, and we appreciate your generosity. Okay, Thunderbolts review. Here we go. Let's start with some general thoughts. As always, I open these videos with the very eloquently written tweet that I compose while walking out to the theater, hoping to best my colleagues in the press with my ability to wax poetic about the state of the industry and the art of cinema. Here was my prose. I'll need to see it again, but I think Thunderbolts is the best Marvel movie since Avengers Endgame. The same kind of bullshit Marvel shills tweet in between screaming, let's and go when someone in a movie says on your left. I did go into further detail in the replies when people asked about other great post-Endgame movies like Spider-Man No Way Home and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I said that despite Thunderbolts being on a more contained scale in some ways, it was a tighter story with better pacing and humor and hits us on a deeper emotional level.
And at the end of the day, movies are supposed to be a place, you know what I mean? A place for you to go and enjoy yourself. That's what it really is. A movie. This is all fantasy. None of it's real. You know what I'm saying? None of it's real, right? So it's a place. Can you watch this and enjoy yourself? Is at the end of the day. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So, especially with these particular type of properties and the property that a lot of us has bought into, a lot of us grew up with some type of Marvel on our television, right? I always tell this story when I was growing up. The Spider-Man live action show that came out in the 70s was in syndication when I was growing up on one of our local channels. So was the Incredible Hulk was syndicated. Matter of fact, I think it was still coming on to CBS, if I'm not mistaken, when I was growing up. You know, and then we had Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and you know, and then it went on from there, right? So we had some type of Marvel in our household, right? So at the end of the day, you know, you want to go in and see the enjoyment. You know what I'm saying? You want to see the enjoyment. You want to see what they're doing. Because like I said, and especially, and I think me and Darius have this type of sentiment. Like, we already kind of, I feel, and I'm just saying me, because I can't speak to Darius, right? But, you know, for me, I'm almost at the point where I'm like, I kind of already know the fate of what they're going to do. Now it's up to me if I want to continue to watch or whatever. But because Ryan Coogler is being so successful right now, and Ryan is just as hot as Jordan Peele was after Get Out. Like, and Get Out is a totally different movie than Sinners, but as far as like what the buzz, like everybody is still talking about Sinners right now. It wouldn't surprise me It wouldn't surprise me if they did. If they went with Tucson or they didn't, because Marvel likes money, and if because he's been getting asked. Let's keep it a buck. Ryan Coogler has been asked about T'Challa, not Tucson, over and over and over again, almost like he has to sidestep it so he can talk about his movie, right? It wouldn't surprise me, and I'm just keeping it honest. It wouldn't surprise me if he did go with, and maybe he doesn't go with the full recast. He goes with a variant because he's listening to the Russos. Russo's like, hey, we need a T'Challa, not the kid, because you know what I mean? But we want T'Challa, son of T'Chaka. And Ryan goes along with it because after Ryan is done with his with Black Panther, Black Panther 3, whatever it's going to be called, he's off in the sunset. He can do all the movies that he wants to do after this, right? So then he could be able to give, let's say for the sake of argument, he left it like this, he could be able to give us T'Challa and give it to the hands of somebody maybe who appreciates the artist a lot. I mean, appreciate the character a lot more and will give more, more gravitas to that character, more relevance to that character. I'm not saying that he will. Listen to what I'm saying, because I'm just reading the tea leaves right now, because everybody keeps saying it's Tucson, it's Tucson, it's Tucson, and tomorrow it might not be because he's so rare. How you like, oh, you know what? If I did recast him, and let's say for the sake of argument, he says, you know what? If I do go with T'Challa, right? If I do go with T'Challa, and I bring him from the multiverse like they did on the Disney cruise, right? When that Disney cruise clip came out, it had like millions of views, right? Everybody on the recast T'Challa train was like, yo, hey, you got it right there. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be very emotional for Shuri to see her brother? It's not the brother that she remembers, but it's her brother, right? And then she could go off and be the griot or whatever. You know what I mean? Tucson could actually have a father to raise him. Like, if you're going to keep the character, keep that. You'll at least let her have a father to raise him and don't age him up on some Back to the Future type crap, right? And Ryan just like, hey, man, I gave y'all T'Challa from a multiverse. Hey, this is my last film. Do what you do with it after that. Would you not be satisfied with that? I think I would. You know what I mean? I think I would. That's just me personally. So I kind of understand. I understand where his position is. I also understand that things could change in a heartbeat. In that little sliver that when they say, 90%, I got 10%, that maybe he'll change his mind because he's so hot right now. Give us this, go out in the sunset and do what you got to do and leave the next director, to be able to take over what you did and be able to make it successful. All right, I didn't win enough off track. Let's get back to the Thunderbolts.
And I did see Thunderbolts a second time before publishing this review, and now I feel that, yes, it is the best MCU movie since Avengers Endgame.
David Harbour's my guy.
Say that's a low bar, but from Spider-Man No Way Home and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Shang-Chi, I don't think those are exactly low bars to clear, and Thunderbolts does pull it off. Thunderbolts accomplishes a feat I would say the first Guardians of the Galaxy film did by taking a group of misfits we don't really know that well and making us instant ride or dies for them. Directed by...
And I always said this, like, Shang-Chi, I really like Shang-Chi. But I'm really into Chinese mythology too. I love Chinese storytelling, especially when they go back in the past. I love a lot of Asian films anyway, whether they're action or not. So I like Shang-Chi. Like I said, I might not like Black Panther Wakanda Forever for the reasons what they did, but I cannot deny that is not a good movie. And I've always said that it's a good movie. It's just a bad, very horrible Black Panther film. And the reason why I can't watch it is because I'm not going to watch something where it's a funeral really on screen for my enjoyment. It's very hard and very triggering for me to watch that. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is a phenomenal movie. You know what I mean? It's a phenomenal movie. You know, you made me feel something about a talking raccoon. Like in the first movie, you made me feel something about a talking tree. You know what I mean? You said if he doesn't tap Jonathan Major for future project, he can kick rocks. Are you talking about Ryan Coogler or Michael B. Jordan? Guardians of the Galaxy No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home. That was enjoyable. But the reason why I'm gonna just be honest, the reason why I enjoyed it because the other Spider-Man that I liked in there, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and Tom Holland Spider-Man is in there. And to me, I had this debate, you know, you talk about Ryan. I believe in the future he would. You know what I mean? I know Jonathan just did the another interview with Jason Lee. I haven't watched it yet, you know, but I'll see it. I'll see it. But maybe because of he's on another, I don't know, and I'm not saying this that he is doing this. I don't know if he's on a cooling out period because of that audio, and he's like, let me chill out, you know, for a little bit until I start filming my next project. You know what I mean? Because if you notice that you haven't seen him, you know, out and about or doing this or doing that, and like he had his Hollywood tour, all of that, it went to streaming. I haven't seen anything from him since. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I can see why he would. I can see because of that audio why he would be like, let me step back a little bit. Let me step back. And yeah, all the movies that he said were all enjoyable in the theater, and they were enjoyable outside the theater. You know what I'm saying? I bought it as soon as it went up for pre-order. I already had it. He said you can keep the rest. I'm interested now, Sheed. I'm interested in Fantastic Four too. I have a soft spot for the Fantastic Four. I do. I have a soft spot just for the characters. I have a soft spot for them. And I like Pedro Pascal. I like him as an actor. And I want to support his movie. So I'm going to watch him because I'm a big fan of Pedro Pascal. You know? He said, looking forward to Thunderbolts, but I see it's another movie to show white people superior to blacks when it comes to superheroes. Elaborate on that, Antonio, if you haven't already. It was supposed to be our movie, but that movie was not us. That I'm going to tell you, Antonio, that movie was not us. That I'm gonna just keep it. I'm gonna keep it a buck. They basically, this is just my opinion, not discrediting what you're saying. Would never discredit what anybody is saying because that's your thoughts. My thought is, honestly, that Captain America was a token movie for blacks. Think about the date think about the month it was released, right? In February, on Valentine's Day, you can take a sweetheart there. And it's Black History Month, and a black man donning the Stars and Stripes with a very horrible, very chopped up, very badly paced, movie. That wasn't us. Sinners is us. They ain't got, that's Marvel doing their last ditch effort to appease a certain demographic, and it did not work. That was not for us. You know what I'm saying? It was a token character. I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it real. Anthony Mackie's character is a token character. Because would you have watched it if it was just called The Falcon? I would have. Because if it's telling a great story about Falcon and not donning someone else's attire just to say, look at me, I'm Captain America. Anybody can be Captain America. Well, where's the Asian Captain America? Where the Mexican Captain America? Where's the Mexicans at? Where was the Latinos at when he was Captain America? When they was passing around Captain America? Why wouldn't them say, "Oh, I could be Captain America"? Why they was complaining about sinners? Why they was complaining about sinners? What was the Latinos at during that? Where's the Middle Eastern Captain America? I personally do not like the fact that they ever gave him that moniker in the first place. We were cool with him being Falcon. We were cool with that. Tell his story and tell it authentic. We just literally just seen a black director hire another filmographer, wrote a story that was original, and look what it did in the box office. Why can't you do that for him? Why can't you tell an original story for him? To make us feel a little bit something for him instead of him in a badly paced, badly chopped up, that you gave away the ending ass movie. I'm sorry. It's a cool movie. It's okay. But honestly, you could have threw it in the It's forgettable. Who's still talking about Brave New World right now? Oh my God. What are you going to do after Brave New World? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. On to the next one. Now we on Thunderbolts, and they're giving more praise to Thunderbolts because it's probably a better written story. You didn't hear about Thunderbolts going through 80 reshoots. You didn't hear about it, did you? Nope. You know, a fan favorite, Taskmaster, is not in none of the marketing for real. That gives you hope. And now we can get rid of that character the way they portrayed it in the old MCU. If you're going to do it, change all of this crap over. Get rid of that Taskmaster. Give us a T'Challa back. Yeah, Rashad Walker, they set him up to fail. They set him up to fail. That's why they gave him a bump in pay, because they knew that movie wasn't going to be on the level of Captain America Winter Soldier. They knew it was not even going to be Captain America the First Avenger. It sure in the hell wasn't going to be Civil War. I need some water. It wasn't going to be Civil War. So you already knew what they was going to do with that. I felt bad. I felt bad for Anthony Mackie, but he was cheesing too damn hard because he was so excited to work with Harrison Ford. Hey, I'm glad you got to work with Harrison Ford. I'm glad you got to get executive producer credits on the film. I want him to win. But that film is not him winning. Who after that was like, yeah, I see him leading the Avengers. Him. He ain't even on the level of, they didn't even film him as a Batman type. More Rambo-ish, yeah, but not like a Batman type. Batman, yeah, he can lead the Justice League. He's crazy, but he can lead the Justice League. And he's a guy just using gadgets with no powers. You could have did the same thing with him. He doesn't have a bird he talks to. You know what I mean? A la Coco Beware, or a la who he is. You know what I mean? So at least make up a Batman type. You know what they did? Is say, you know what? Let's put the great Giancarlo Esposito in here and waste him. Let's give you a leader that doesn't look like a leader. He looks like, when I pulled up that the video of the herpes from Dave Chappelle's video. That's what it looks like. Not the character from the comics. I don't know what the hell that abomination is. You bring back, you know, Tim Blake Scott, you bring up all these people. You got Harrison Ford, and you ruin them in the trailer because your movie wasn't good. He could have been anything but what the hell they did in that damn movie. So I'm just saying, have you seen the what I was talking about, the knee high? I done went all on a tangent, y'all. We supposed to be discussing Thunderbolts.
Directed by Jake Schreier, who, along with co-writer Joanna Kahlo and editor Harry Yoon, came from Netflix's Beef, and Thunderbolts charges through its action with the same flavor of sharp humor and open vulnerability. The bits are perfectly balanced and character sourced, so these jokes are going to get even better on repeat viewings. Like, this is going to be a vibe that Marvel fans live with for a long time. The action is brutal and fun and delightfully choreographed. People in this movie do get hurt in all kinds of ways, and they have to fight through that pain and learn how to do so together. The music from Sun Lux, who composed Everything Everywhere All at Once, is a perfect pairing for this story about characters getting sucked into everything bagels, meaning the A24 comparisons are actually on point. Thunderbolts is...
So if they're comparing it to A24, and like I said, when I looked at the trailer for The Rock's new movie, I started to feel a little emotion from that. I'm like, A24, I thought, Lord, I need some water. I personally thought A24 was the horror. That's what they did in their studios. You know what I mean? That they were the horror gurus. I didn't know they were bringing drama like that. You know what I mean? And if they're comparing it with the drama that I've seen just in that small trailer, then I'm all for it.
This is a story about the numbness we feel after we felt too much. At times, it does feel like maybe a therapist did a pass on the script, which some Marvel viewers may find to be tiresome, but it's also the kind of thing you might need more of in your comic book media. What really surprised me about Thunderbolts is how it found a way to take these lesser characters played by great actors from what Deadpool called a low point in Marvel's recent history and totally upcycled them into the most entertaining and heartbreaking versions of themselves. Yelena Belova, Red Guardian, John Walker, Ghost, Val. It feels like these...
I'm trying to tell you, I'm a David Harbour fan. I think David Harbour is a gem. You know what I mean? I think he's a gem. I love it. I do not know what it is about, but he seems like he's the one having so much fun on set that I look so forward to watching his performances, no matter if it's in DC when he was playing Frankenstein or him as Red Guard. I just love him on screen, and he's that presence on screen. Remember I was talking about, with Ellie on The Last of Us, like when she pops on screen, does she pop? Do you feel that presence? David Harbour, Sebastian Stan, Florence Pugh are stars. They pop on screen. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people who can do that. There's not a lot of people to do that. I believe all of the personal scenes where you get to be more invested with Sam, they cut out. I heard too many people were saying it felt rushed. Well, when they did all the reshoots, I'm like, what did you reshoot? But again, Rashad, what I had a problem with that movie was for the simple fact we already seen it in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier was a way better story that wasn't chopped up like what they did there. I mean, just think about it. At the end of the movie, he has to counsel someone to stand them down that's a super soldier or who has a super soldier serum. Doesn't that sound a little familiar? Then they turned around and rinse and repeat when you're and especially me still being invested in the MCU despite their faults or whatever. These are comic book characters just like DC that I grew up with. I want to have my comic characters. I do not have all this crap in my house if I wasn't a fan of comics. So it hurts when they do dumb stuff. But if they can, all I want them to do is course correct. Course correct. You seen what DC is going to be on your heels. Course correct. That's it. I want you to win. I'm still rooting for you. I'm Tyra Banks when he's yelling at that lady saying, "Hey, I'm rooting for you." It's because I need some water. That's it. I need some water.
These characters were created for this movie, not for the previous titles that they were in. And while Bucky Barnes' cinematic history is pretty hard to top, this kind of action and buddy comedy is really what I've missed from the characters since, honestly, Civil War. Like, I like the Falcon the Winter Soldier, but at the end of the day, the first of 6 episodes did not have them at all together in it. Thunderbolts pulled off a bit of a miracle here by looking at some of the weak links of Phases 4 and 5, discovering the best parts of them, and scrapping them all together in a movie-length Avengers Assemble circle of shot from the 2012 Avengers. The feeling you felt from that shot is a feeling you're going to feel this entire movie. So what happens in Thunderbolts?
I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of hard because we were waiting for that team up for 4 films. You know what I'm saying? For 4 films. Was it 4? Iron Man 2, Thor. Hold up. Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, the first Avenger. What movie am I missing? I'm missing a movie. Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk. I was like, I'm missing a movie. Am I still missing a movie? It's just, oh my God, I need some water.
No spoilers, but we catch up with Yelena Belova, Alexei Shostakov, John Walker, Ava Starr, Bucky Barnes, and Taskmaster, all in varying degrees of moving on from their pasts as killers and forgotten super soldiers, now on a mission orchestrated by Val that runs them into Bob, who has his own secretive past with human experimentation.
And I want to see the Sentry on film.
You can discern from the trailers, but yes, it involves an entity or form known as the Void that swallows people in city blocks in shadow, and the movie returns to Avengers Tower. I'm not gonna ruin these moments, but there were a few moments when my entire theater gasped in shock. And the post-credit scene of this movie, please try to avoid the leaks at all costs. This post-credit scene is Marvel's most satisfying post-credit scene since Phase 3, largely because it's an actual scene, not just an arrival of some character you have to look up on the New Rockstars video, and sometimes a character who might not ever show up again in the MCU. But adding a little asterisk to that statement, the post-credit scene of the Marvels is actually held up as apparently extremely important to Avengers Doomsday. Who'da thunk? But this movie does explain why they are called the Thunderbolts, and it's a very sweet reason, and what the asterisk is all about. We don't think it was weird if you were watching this video on a train, and then when you crossed one certain street in your hometown, you weren't allowed to see it anymore. But that happens on the chemistry, the humor, what you'll love a lot. I've already mentioned the cast, the chemistry, the humor, the emotional depth, the action.
I mean, he's hyping this up. He's hyping this up. I want it, and that's what I want, because also Sentry number 1, you know what I mean? I want to see what he does, how they portray the Sentry. Is it going to be portrayed like they did in the comics, the Sentry number 1? Or would it be some bull crap? That's what I want to know. You know what I mean? Because the Sentry is man, I know you got Captain. They say Captain Marvel is going to be the strongest MCU character. Then that hodgepodge or whatever they did at the end of Secret Invasion, which was trash. Sentry? Shit. I'm sorry, Roberta. The Sentry? The Sentry, Hyperion, not Galactus, but I'm looking at Gladiator. Good God. Couldn't think of it. Man, oh my God. He said definitely hyping it up. Saw this last night on his channel. They're hyping it up. But the Sentry is I'm talking about the Sentry.
The score, the way it redeems weaker Marvel titles, and the way it's ending and post-credit scene
actually
do some heavy lifting to set up the future of the MCU. But yes, everyone in the cast shines. Though Lewis Pullman in particular is the standout, even if he's just shining through like 2 pinprick eyes from a shadow. And of course, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the glue of this movie as Val, and Nick Fury for a new era. It is essentially this movie's walking, talking.
That was garbage.
2 other elements I want to point out that this movie, I think, pulls off better than a lot of other recent MCU titles: the editing and the tone. Editor Harry Yoon delivered one of the best.
What did I say about Daredevil? I said, can they keep a tone? Daredevil only made that mistake in 1 episode, and that was the episode with Kamala Khan's father. But other than that, the tone of the show actually stayed consistent. He said, I don't like it. I don't like it. And as a comic, and Jairus, let me explain to you, as a comic book nerd, as a person who invests their time, their effort, and money, why can't you elevate? This is the problem that I have. His explanation for having Sam Wilson take over the moniker was this: there was no black superheroes on the level of Captain America or whatever. So I gave him the moniker so he could be up there. Why in the hell did you just didn't make Falcon on the same level instead of a goddamn sidekick? Why do black people always got to be the sidekicks in these shows? Why Luke Cage can't be on the same level as Hulk, Black Panther, Thor? I mean, not Black Panther because he's an asterisk. But why can't he be on the level? Why did Falcon have to start off as Captain America's sidekick that wasn't named Bucky? Why couldn't he be on the same level from the goddamn jump as Captain America? Why do you have to make him a pimp in the comics? See, that's the thing about it. When you know the comic history, you knew that there was some follies that they did with that particular character where they could have elevated him on the same level, but they chose not to because they didn't want to see blacks in the same level as whites. And just because you give him that goddamn costume does not mean that he's now on the same level because he's in a white man's costume. Damn that. He is most definitely supposed to be on the same level as the rest of the rest of the comic book heroes. But it seems like black people in comics never was on that level unless they were A, created by other black comic writers, or B, somebody felt sympathetic, was like, let's just put this guy there like they did with Black Panther, because at least Jack Kirby knew other black friends in his neighborhood that was reading these comics like everybody else, right? Seeing white heroes. Let's at least give them theirs and put them on the same level. Black Panther has been in Avengers comics since the 60s. Why Luke Cage can't be on that level? Why when they introduced Falcon in the 1970s, he couldn't be on that same level? Why, you know what I mean? Character after character after character. Monica Rambeau got introduced in the 1980s. Why couldn't she be on that same level? They made Storm in the 80s you know what I'm saying, as a co-leader of the X-Men. Because Chris Claremont was like, you know what? I'm telling these excellent stories about people who are going through the same things that black people have been going through since they got here. She needs to be elevated because I see the goddess in her. That's why I have a problem with Captain America. Nothing against you. And my tone is not down in what you're saying or anything. This is the passion and the problem that I have with these comic book creators. I just literally talked to when I went to Comic-Con, I talked to the co-creator of Spider-Man Noir. You think I feel a certain way about Marvel? You should hear it from his mouth, because he ain't fooling with them. And he created Spider-Man Noir, and see how they got treated. They do not care about a lot of these artists, a lot of these creators, the writers. They damn sure can make sure the editor can pick who they want to elevate. And for a long time, there were only one. There was only one. You don't have to race swap. You don't have to give him the white man's moniker. Elevate that guy. What's wrong with elevating Falcon? What's wrong with it? Oh, I'm supposed to feel a certain way because now, you know, he has on the Captain America suit. I'm supposed to be proud of that. When he could have just elevated this character and made this character prominent. So that's what we're going to do now. Hey, let's just give the black guy the white moniker so we can make him feel good about himself. Nah, that's even more racist than anything. Because you're never going to feel proud unless you're walking in the white man's shoes. Damn that. I don't buy that type of rhetoric. I don't buy that type of rhetoric. I don't. Because they didn't make Bucky feel like that. They didn't make U.S. Agent feel like that. They wasn't elevated. Look. You know what I'm saying? Feel proud to be white because a white man got this moniker. They don't do that for white folks. And like I said earlier, where's the Mexican? Where's the Mexican Captain America? Where's the Middle Eastern American Captain America? Where's he at? Where's the Asian American Captain America? Since we're giving away the moniker, why they ain't got it? Think about it. What a Polynesian American, the Samoan American. You get what I'm saying? That's it. Let's keep going.
Best cuts we've seen in the MCU. In addition to his work on Beef, he also edited Shang-Chi, Minari, HBO's Euphoria, and now with Thunderbolts, he keeps his narratives moving. He and Jake Schreier are not sacred when it comes to any shot, any close-up, any monologue. They clearly demonstrate how it is about the beat within a scene, not about how cool a hero looks, but the emotional beat. They let those beats guide the cuts, even if it means making an A-lister grumble their line off screen. No one and no thing is precious in this movie. No one gets away with indulgence. Everyone is expendable. Everyone has to support the overall mission. And the result is a 2-hour movie that feels like a brisk 90 minutes. And then there's the tone. It is so refreshing to see a Marvel movie that doesn't feel like it's just a hodgepodge of dialogue and character beats from one director versus like thirsty VFX sequences and complex.
I'm glad he put in Thor Ragnarok, because Thor Ragnarok was all over the place. I'm trying to get into the movie. I'm like,
fights that clearly came from the studio's previs artists and second unit directors. Like, I'm sure Jake Schreier used some stuff from the studio's team, but the whole movie does feel start to finish like a film in which every scene, every fight, every joke, and every visual effect serve the same mission of a story of broken heroes fighting to feel alive again. Every part of the movie feels like it's from the same movie, and I love that. Like, you would think that should be a pretty straightforward bar for any movie credited with one director, but, you know, look at Marvel's history. That's often not the case. Okay, what you'll miss from this movie? Well, having covered so many Marvel movies and shows over the years, there is a fanboy part of me that sees this movie apprehensively as potentially too small of a story to merit the required viewing spectacle streak that Marvel achieved in their Phase 3 heyday. For a moment or two, you might ask, does this matter to the MCU?
You are all so adorable.
And then, one scene later, the answer will come as a resounding yes!
Yes! Not Ragnarok. I'm sorry. Not Ragnarok. Thor Love and Thunder. Not Ragnarok. I like Ragnarok. Not that. Thor Love and Thunder was trash.
And grumble a bit. But, you know, if you just allow yourself to love these characters who are going through this, you will find, you know what? I think I need this. I think we all need this. But, you know, a few gripes here. This movie, I think, needed to more evenly distribute the character development, and I just wish we learned a bit more about Ghost and Bucky, though those characters do get plenty of star moments, and they do carry their weight in the plot. You'll know what I mean after you see the movie. Some characters get some very revelatory moments, and we just don't get those for everybody. And yes, my personal fanboy preference, I just always love it in MCU movies when characters with fun combinations of power sets mix and clash their crazy powers in just surprising ways, and synthesize something greater than the sum of their parts. And I think we could have used a few more visuals like that. Like, the characters do that emotionally, which at the end of the day is a more important thing. But, you know, other than Ghost and Sentry, everyone in this movie is just like a good fighter who's a bit stronger than usual. And we could have used a few more third act moments like that. But again, total nitpick, and I feel like you're going to disagree with that point after you see the movie. And honestly, what I just said, minor stuff. This movie rocks. So let's end with my final score and ranking. I will give this movie a 9.1 out of 10.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm that's a little high, and maybe I'm not buying it. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not buying it, but I'm not going in there with the expectations like that. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. So I don't know. I'm just not 9.1. I don't want to go in there thinking of 9.1, and then I'm walking out, but like, yeah, for real, you was hyping this up, and it's I don't know. But
I said this movie is the best Marvel movie since Endgame, and I meant it. Yes, it is true. I still think it is. And you're going to look at the other titles there and be like, what is this guy smoking? Sure, Thunderbolts is not as big of an event as Spider-Man No Way Home was, and I don't expect Thunderbolts to cross $1 billion. But it is a funnier movie.
Can't call ourselves that.
Thank God.
Thunderbolts. It's a cool name.
The fights are better without needing CGI to animate everything. And I care more about these second chance losers finding their purpose than I care about Peter Parker's arc in that movie. Deadpool and Wolverine had amazing moments. But, looking back, its jokes and its cameos lose some of their luster because they're just kind of punching down and making meta pop culture references that Ryan Reynolds is probably getting sued over now. And at times, I just feel like Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy, despite their talents, might not know their audience as well as they think they do. And James Gunn absolutely achieved something great with Guardians Volume 3.
I agree.
And while Rocket's story is beautiful in that movie, the ensemble chemistry that was so great about the previous two films seemed to be a bit backburnered in Volume 3 in order to serve Rocket's story. And I just think Thunderbolts does a better job of capturing that Guardians Volume 1 energy and establishing arcs for the entire team. And everything else on this list, you could make a case for them, but I think they were just slightly imperfect films that were either saved by great elements or in some cases never.
Let's look at this. Let's look at this list just real quick. He has Thunderbolts at number 1. Thunderbolts at number 1, which I said it might be the surprise of the MCU. I said that. Spider-Man No Way Home number 2. Deadpool and Wolverine, which again, I'm a big Deadpool fan, but I watched Deadpool 1 more than I ever have Deadpool. And I watched Deadpool 2 a lot too, but over Deadpool and Wolverine. You know what I mean? Over Deadpool and Wolverine. And probably because I like the story. The story of Deadpool 1 is better, even though it was smaller, self-contained, and all of that. The story, the humor, everything was well balanced. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I like that movie for the fact is, you got a Rocket backstory. And I would never think you will make that character have a backstory that would be so heartbreaking. That Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, yes. I really like Shang-Chi. Black Panther Wakanda Forever would probably be more down for me. It's most definitely, well, like I said, it's a gorgeous movie. And very, very, heartwarming moments. There's some moments I laughed. There's some moments I cried, and for obvious reasons. But I would put enjoyability. I would put Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness above that. Personally, I would switch the Marvels above Captain America, even though the Marvels is, the Marvels is not bad. There's just certain parts of the Marvels where you like, if you did A, B, and C right here, it's a way better movie. Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Quantumanium has a very good performance, terrible ending the way that they did. Thor Love and Thunder will be at the very bottom because I will watch Black Widow, and I watched Black Widow I don't know how many times. Black Widow in Eternals way more than I will watch Thor Love and Thunder. Thor Love and Thunder is garbage pail juice. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. Nope. Rather watch the Marvels. I rather watch Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania. Eternals is way better than what people give it. I would put it a little bit. I would switch Eternals and Captain America Brave New World around. And I think Black Widow is a better story than people are getting the credit for. Do I like Taskmaster? Hell no. But it's a way better movie than what I give credit for. But all right, let's keep, because it's only 2 minutes left.
Achieved what they were going for. Look, your mileage is going to vary. Feel free to disagree with me. I just think that anything I liked about those other 12 movies, Thunderbolts did a better job. A job that was more narratively economical and more emotionally impactful. And isn't that the point of paying as much as it costs to see a movie? So yeah, I'm okay putting Thunderbolts right at the top of the MCU movies since 2021. But we need an asterisk here because since some of these characters got their histories explored on Disney Plus series, isn't it only fair that we include the Disney Plus shows on this ranking? So let's redo it. Oh, sorry, Thunderbolts, Loki, and WandaVision.
Okay. You need to put Thor, Love, and Thunder and Secret Invasion in the same category. And She-Hulk. She-Hulk, Thor, Love, and Thunder, Secret Invasion, Echo. Horrible. Man, I like it. Man, I like it at all. Hawkeye wasn't bad. I think Agatha's too high. I liked Agatha, but not that. I wasn't that hype for Agatha like that. Yeah. I think I would switch Agatha all along and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I would switch that. Nope. Nope. Everything else, compared, yeah. Echo is not good. Echo is not good.
Still top my list of best things Marvel Studios has made since Endgame. Can these be beaten by Fantastic
Agatha was bad.
We will see. Comment down below with what you are most looking forward to from the movie, and if you've seen it, some non-spoiler thoughts on whether.
Okay, so let's get off of this. I liked Agatha. Hold up, what the hell? Oh, okay. I like Agatha, but because they use Agatha out of. You knew you were setting something up with Monica Rambeau being in another universe. You know what I'm saying? You've seen her get her powers in WandaVision and all of that. And you make a spin-off show with Agatha instead of Monica Rambeau. And then you do another spin-off with Echo, a character I do not care about at all. Like, I don't care. Like, legitimately don't. Matter of fact, let my representative tell you.
I don't care.
Nope, I don't.
I don't care.
None of it.
I don't care.
Ask me again.
I don't care.
Yep, I don't care. So, no, Agatha had a hit song. Agatha had a hit song that people remixed and made it dope. You know what I mean? Other than that, and I'm not saying Agatha wasn't bad in WandaVision, but if you're telling a story, you know, and especially that particular story, you're going to use a character who's going to be in another universe. So you got to deal with all of this. Why didn't you tell a story for her so we can know her backstory? So we can know about Frank and everybody else. Like, my personal opinion. Like I said, that's my personal opinion. But like I said, we got Echo. What needle does Echo move in the MCU? None. What does She-Hulk do in the MCU right now? What needle is she moving right now? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. She could have been a cameo. Then we got the Hulkling. And I meant nothing. Nothing of significance. You know what I mean? Like I said, Echo started off good and went downhill quickly. And I did not enjoy it. You know what I mean? Giving the power of the ancestors when we can't even go back to the ancestors and revive T'Challa. That is a part of the comics. King of the Dead storyline. I'm like Tupac when he was waving off Snoop Dogg right before the hit happened. I didn't like it. Didn't like it. Did not like it. What did y'all think? Some of y'all might either, like I said, to me, this is just my opinion. If you like She-Hulk, if you like Secret Invasion, you like this stuff, I'm not mad at you. This is just my opinion. So, the majority of the MCU is overrated on one I love is Civil War and Winter Soldier. Those are dope. Like I said, those are dope films. I don't think it's because I also look at stuff. I look at stuff differently. Yes, I'm going to look at it as a comic book fan, but I also look at a lot of these movies as movies first. And as a movie, did you do A, B, and C? That's it. It's simple. So I look at it from, number one, from an actor standpoint. And then I look at the pacing, I look at the editing, I look at the cinematography, I look at the performances on screen. If the performances on screen is lackluster and people just like, I give you a prime example. Madam Web. My God, was she sleepwalking through this whole entire movie. She was not excited when she found out that she was not in a Marvel film. When she found out she was in a Sony adjacent film, she phoned her performance in where it's so bad it's funny. It's so bad, it's funny. You know what I mean? Like, who's having fun on set? Who's enjoying this? Who's bringing their A game when it comes to acting? Because that's the main thing I look at. I go into movies and I look at them like, man, who's bringing it? Who's having fun? Who's bringing their A game to this? And if nobody's bringing their A game to this, I'm like, if you're not enjoying it, why the hell should I? Why? Why am I here? So I look at it. I don't look at it from a critic like what E-Man does, and Jeremy Johns, and a lot of film critics. What they do, I don't look at it as a critic point of view. I look at it if I wanted to be in this movie, I'm looking at different things as the way the final result comes out. Because even when I'm doing my videos, I look at the editing. I want to cut this out. I cut this out. I cut this out so I can keep it tight so I can stick on the narrative. Is when I'm streaming is when I talk too much. But if I was doing this as a video, this shit would be 20 minutes at the max. Trust me, not an hour and 10 minutes. What about Dre? What are your thoughts on Daredevil? Are people not bashing it because of the cast? In my opinion, it wasn't nowhere good as it was on Netflix. Everything moved too fast. My opinion on Daredevil is twofold. One, I could tell where the Netflix clue came in, which was episode 1 and episode 8 and 9. And they kept certain elements. Like I said, it's certain elements. Not everything landed, but there were still certain elements that was really good. It wasn't bad. Okay, is it season 3 of Daredevil? Is it season 2 of Daredevil? Is it season 1? No. There's a totally different team. You know what I mean? But what they were able to accomplish, I see hope. And that's why I said when Kevin Feige made the decision to get the old team from Netflix back and scrap what he had, I gotta give him props on that. As much as Kevin Feige pisses me off with some of the decisions that he made, that was one of the best decisions that he ever made. Was saying, you know what? Let me go ahead and bring these guys over because I do not like this. And if you're gonna keep this money train going, you're gonna have to course correct. That's why I made the point where, yeah, they could go ahead with the two side. They could go ahead with the kid. But if they really want to make their money, bring back T'Challa. Just recast. Or bring in somebody tomorrow. So, but yeah, so yeah. And I agree with you on the Muse character, but they said they're bringing it back for season 2. So, or, yeah. So yeah. Yeah. But I'm going to start before I end y'all. I'm going to start asking, put a comment in the comment section, put a question in the comment section so I can start doing a question. You know what I'm saying? A question of the day. You know what I'm saying? A question of the day. And I'm going to start it today. When you're watching this, if you have a question that you want to ask me, a question of the day, I'm going to pick one question of the day that I will read on screen and answer that question. And it can be anything from shoes to what's my favorite Transformer, whatever you want to ask, scenarios. If you were in a comic book movie and you could get the powers of Spider-Man or the powers of I don't know, the Century, which one would you pick? Anything. So I'm going to start bringing that. So make sure that if you have a question of the day, I'm going to pick one random question, put it in the comments, not in the chat, the comments, because I want to see the questions that you guys have. And I want to be able to have a question of the day before I let you guys go. You know what I'm saying? Going forward. So I can't think of an MCU project I don't like. This quote storytelling is a ton of fun. And all the complaints I hear always say, I don't know who these characters are because I don't read. Again, that's your opinion. I don't totally agree. But, I'm not mad at your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, You can, I'm not telling nobody not to enjoy anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling nobody, hey, don't enjoy this. No, you can enjoy it. But I'm also going to critique what I see, especially films. And you cannot tell me The Secret Invasion was good. There's elements of Secret Invasion that is completely awesome. And there's parts of Secret Invasion that are complete garbage pail juice. There's parts of She-Hulk that could have been awesome. The writing was bad, but you might like it. Hey, no, more power to you. More power to you. But don't forget the question of the day. Make sure you put it in the chat. And I will read it on tomorrow's show.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Why do you think it's so hard for Marvel to do Blade? How do you promise an actor on the levels of Ali and not fulfill? Do you believe it's best if they just recast? No, I don't believe black people. I don't believe it older. I don't believe it older. Hell, I just seen old ass Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, do an action film. So nope, keep Mahershala Ali. No, I just don't like the way that they handled this whole entire situation. And to see what Ryan Coogler did with Sinners, when you pot with the early leaks with that was going to be a period piece for Blade. Hey, you know what? Get your ish together. Get your ish together, Marvel. All right, let me get out of here. Don't forget the question of the day. Put it in the chat so I can be able to read it on tomorrow. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never, ever, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'm going to holler at you later. Peace and vibe power. And let me know what you guys think about Thunderbolts in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Where's my outro at? Let me get up out of here because you already know I got to go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Huh. Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.